Hello, good morning and welcome. As we can see from the charts, the Australian dollar has gained a lot of strength, and as it's gained strength, so the commercials have been shorting it. They are now at an extreme short position and have been for the last 4 weeks, and the speculators are at an extreme long position. What we're expecting is for this pair to fall off. So thanks for the aeroplane. Um, we expected this pair to short back through. It started coming down, and it's actually it's sort of stagnated a little bit. So if we go over to the chart, Australian US dollar, this week we have a short ratio of 4.91 to 1. This has actually gained a little bit of strength, sort of a correction over the last 2 weeks, and I see this position here as a good sell position. We've got historic resistance to the north at 80, which is a nice big round number, and we're expecting this to sort of short back through. It has got quite a short ratio on it, and the speculators have a long ratio of 2.95 to 1. British pound. Come on. Yeah, I am quite pleased to say this has had a little bit of a correction, and we've seen over the last 3 weeks the commercials have gone long, and this has shorted. Expecting this really to have finished now when it got down to the 128, and I'm expecting from the 128, get the right chart always helps, from the 128 I'm expecting this now to continue long. We've got a little bit of resistance here at 129 300. That's a weekly turning point, so might just have a little bit of a pregnant pause over that, but basically I'm expecting this to continue long. We have a commercials rate, increased rate this week of 1.42 to 1. Right, okay. Canadian dollar. Yep. Well, this has had a climb and a climb like you wouldn't believe. That's quite steep. We've had a little bit of a correction back, and it's actually gained a little bit more strength. The commercials really have they sold some of their shorts when it made the correction up, and the last week they've remained fairly stable. So from this higher position up here, I'm expecting next week maybe to see more short positions on the commercials. So if we go over to the charts, Canadian dollar is on this one. Yes. We have the commercials have a long ratio for the pair USD Canadian dollar of 2.08 to 1. And this is turned around from having the short ratio. So basically we're on a bit of a turning point. The speculators are still short 2.71 to 1, and we are expecting this now to sort of bottom out and then to go long. So we're still below the 50 on the RSI, but we haven't dropped below the 30.9. So I am expecting this to move back up. Euro. Yes, the commercials have increased their short position on this, and with the recent long candle that we've had on Friday, with the speeches that came out, I am expecting that position to have been increased even more. Now I'm going to wait Monday, Tuesday and see how that candle develops, but I'm very interested in getting short on this. And it's this pair. Yes. No. Euro dollar. Here we go, and there's that long candle we've got there. We've got a commercial short ratio of 1.67 to 1, speculators long ratio of 1.8. I'm expecting more commercials to go short this, and probably quite a few. I'm expecting more commercials to go short with this higher position that we've got at 1.19. So we'll see what happens with that next week, but might see this continue over Monday, Tuesday, up a little bit more, and then I'll be looking to get back short. Japanese yen. We've had quite an increase in the price of the yen, back up to around the 92 level, and as it's increased, obviously the commercials have been selling off. I'm expecting this to continue, and the commercials to sell off as the yen increases in value. So we've had a bit of a pregnant pause on it the last few days. We had a little bit of a pullback there. It's come back down. It's come down onto support, and it stumbled last week. So I'm expecting this coming week for this to overcome the support and to continue on down. And we've got a commercial short ratio of 2.38 to 1. So that's a short for the pair, not short the Japanese yen. So that's what I'm expecting for next week. The USD index. The commercials have got their longest position that they have had for years for the US dollar. So the US dollar is basically well oversold at the moment. I don't have a chart for this on GKFX at the moment, the DXY which I was using, but you can see basically from this graph that we've got here on COT base, you know, how the dollar has lost value over the last 12 months. It's stumbling a little bit here. It's basically well oversold, deserves to be higher, and we're expecting to see more strength in the dollar over the coming couple of months. Mexican peso. Yes, well, we've still got this extreme position of short by the commercials for the Mexican peso. You can see from this chart the Mexican peso is basically way oversold, and it's starting to top out. Recent highs haven't made a higher high, so we're expecting this to flat out and to come back down. As it comes back, obviously the commercials will sell off. With the recent last week's highs at the end of the week, I would expect this commercial position to have moved up a little bit. Now we go over to the chart. You can see the recent pullback, expecting that to flat out and maybe come up and go through this resistance that we've got here. We've got a long position of 2.1 to 1. So there we go. Sadly, we're still below the 50 on the RSI. I'd like to see that above. So this, when it starts moving, it will be a long-term buy. No, what am I doing? That's better. New Zealand dollar. Well, you can see from this that we've moved off the highs. We've come down nicely. We had this little bit of a pullback here. We've come down nicely. And as we've come down, we've obviously sold off a little bit of our shorts. We're still like a mirror image on the speculators. So as we're coming down, that's where we're going to go. This I'm expecting to continue on down. I left my positions on. I've got some nice positions in at the top, which I left on, and I want to see how far I can trace those down. So here we go. this is the chart. Commercials have a short ratio of a 4.46 to 1. As you see, we've had this little bit of a pregnant pause here, and it is following down. So yeah, we're expecting that to break down. It's got to come through this resistance support here. So we'll see what happens with that next week, but we're below the 50 on the RSI. I'm expecting that just to pass on down. Energies, crude oil. This I quite like. We have more or less retained our short position at the just below the -500. Recent highs on the chart. Let me just find this. Where is it? WTI. Yeah. So we did come back up here. I saw that as a sell. It's in sideways motion at the moment. We're about the 50 on the RSI, but I do see this as a long-term sell, although I'm not in it at the moment. I'm expecting this to go back down at least to $30 to the barrel. So leave that one. It is basically, this has been a descending market, and these ups and downs that we've had in it, corrections ups and downs, have been really nice selling positions. We hit one here and it doesn't quite follow through, but I think this is a sell from here. Metals, silver. Again, we've had these really nice ups and downs, and that you have seen them basically on the commitment of traders report here. Now we're at a good sell position. Where this is at the moment with silver, and I don't know, is gold the same? Because it normally follows through. Yes, gold in fact is a better looking sell than the silver. So we have an extreme position here on gold. I trade silver because I've always done better with silver, and it's just one of them little foibles that I've got. But this I see as a really good sell position. The commercials that have increased their short positions on Tuesday, I think that's looking really good for a sell. Basically the same on silver, but it's not quite as in your face, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but this to me is a really good sell position for silver. We'll have a look at the S&P. See what that's done. Yeah, well, it's maintained its short position. I am really quite pleased with the way that's gone. I'd love to see this crash and burn, but it's not an extreme, that would be sort of down here somewhere, but it still has a very negative bias. What's the Nasdaq looking like? Yeah, it's still on the short side. The Dow Jones has got an extreme short position. Yeah, so that's obviously weighing on the S&P as well, you know. So you can see there, you know, mirror image of the speculators. We've had one day that this is like we have 1, 2. We come up to the third pullback at short. So yeah, that does look quite bearish. Now the Russell 2000 is looking long. Yeah, it has come down quite a lot. So yeah, anyway, way to go. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you on Monday. I'll see if I can do something tomorrow. If there's anything that really screams at me, I'll do it. But okay, thanks for watching. See you on Monday. Cheers.